Hello,
Hello,
welcome to
hello.
another episode of HD ADHD. I'm Hayden Jetson,
And I'm Will Brunson.
and today we're doing a personal favorite of mine, Hellboy from
Four.
2004, made by Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
This is a really good movie. I feel like
Oh yeah,
you've probably seen some of the other. There's been more modern Hellboy introductions, but I feel like this would be, to me, the most definitive version and the
mm,
best overall.
yeah.
Including its sequel. Yeah, this Hellboy also got a sequel. We might do that
I will,
someday.
I will, I will, I will check that out at some point. This was my first time watching anything Hellboy related.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. I knew of a couple things about Hellboy just out of like other media or cultural osmosis. So
Yes.
you know how it goes. You know, I knew he was a guy named Hellboy. And I knew what he looked like. Oh yeah, and I knew he had a fish buddy.
Yeah, this movie was a personal favorite from my childhood for a while. I watched this a lot with my grandparents. I feel like it was a lot of fun. And Will, would you say you quite liked it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Overall, I would have to rate it quite a 10 out of 10. It was written by Guillermo del Toro, famous actor, and is based off the
Famous.
Dark
Well,
director.
direct. I mean, hold on. Has he acted? Okay, he's mostly known for directing. I'll have to.
Yeah.
His likeness was in Death Stranding.
Yeah, he also played no wait oh wait, I was about to say and it was based off the Dark Horse picture not comic book of the name it takes from um
Hellboy.
which I've never read the comics, but I've watched a couple of the films. So that if you're like somebody who actually knows the comics or anything about them, please don't get mad at me if I get things wrong or don't know things, because that's just I haven't read the comics.
It happens. It's cool.
It's an expansive comic book series, but yeah, it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
So today, uh, of course, our standard spoiler warning
Oh
here.
yes,
We
definitely.
actually got the disc
This
case
cover.
right here, so this is really cool. I say
It's a
we
fine looking cover.
I say we start reading. So I'll
I
read the back of the
yes.
disc, the
And
special edition disc holder.
then I will read. Then I will read the Wikipedia.
Okay.
Commence, my friend.
As dark forces gather to hasten the apocalypse, Hellboy fights fire with fire in the mind-blasting supernatural action-adventure from the visionary director of Blade 2, based on the celebrated Dark Horse comic book. Hook. Revolution Studios presents Lawrence Gordon and Lloyd L. Levin production in association with Dark Horse Entertainment, a film by Guillermo del Toro, Hellboy, Ron Perlman, Selma Blair, Jeffrey Tambor, Carl Roden, Rupert Evans, and John Hurt.
Dirt.
Music by Peter Afterman. Music supervised by Peter Afterman and Margaret Yen. Music by Marco Beltram. Co-executive producer Mike Mignola. Edited by Peter. I am probably butchering these
It's
names.
fine. It's fine. We all do it. Folks can just look up the
Peter
names.
Amdeston.
Hmm.
Produced the production designer Stephen Scott. Director of photography Guillermo Navarro.
They call me
ACK.
Will.
I don't know what that means. Executive producer Patrick Palmer. Based on the Dark Horse comic created by Mike Mignola. Screen story by Guillermo del Toro and Peter Briggs.
Mm.
Screenplay by Guillermo del Toro and produced by Lawrence Gordon, Mike Richardson, and Lloyd Levin. Directed by Guillermo del Toro. Yeah,
It's like the room.
he basically did most of this movie. Kind of like he did a lot of this movie. No wonder it's so Guillermo del Toro is such a big
Yeah.
part. Is a big part of the advertising for this film is because he was famous at he's a famous director, and he also was
Hmm.
he basically made every part was a major involvement in every part of this film.
Oh yes. And I'll fill in a bit of things I remember about the Shape of Water whenever we get to the point of
Other stuff.
whenever we get to the point where I feel like it's appropriate. But now I will read the Wikipedia, which is from what as Hayden was reading the cover, I was just looking at this article. I'm like, whoa, mama, you'll hear a couple new things.
Okay.
Heck, I'll just read it. You know. Cough. I just ate. I'm sorry. All right. Hellboy. Hellboy is a 2004 American superhero film based on the Dark Horse comics character of the same name, created by Mike Mignola. I'm sorry. Produced by Revolution Studios, Lawrence Gordon Lloyd Levin Productions, and Dark Horse Entertainment, and distributed by Revolution and Sony Pictures releases Columbia Pictures. That there should have been a gap. It is the first live action film in the Hellboy franchise, directed and written by Guillermo, and the film stars Ron Perlman in the title role alongside Selma Blair, Jeffrey Tambor. I know that name from somewhere. Carol Rodan, Rup- Rupert Evans, and John Hurt. The film draws inspiration from the debut comic Hellboy, Seed of Destruction. In the film, a characteristic demon turned investigator named Hellboy works with the secretive Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. Big control vibes.
Yep.
To
That's not actually
suppress,
from the.
yeah, yeah, to suppress paranormal threats when a resurrected sorcerer, people who know, seeks to make Hellboy fulfill his destiny by triggering the apocalypse.
Dun dun
And
dun.
done. Single
Yep. So
female.
that is the Hellboy. If that piqued your interest now, I would heavily suggest go watching it yourself.
We said Guillermo del Toro a couple times,
So
but you
yep.
know.
But this did come out in 2004. You may have seen stuff of it, and if you haven't, I suggest go watch it. It's a
Oh
really
yeah.
fun movie,
Oh yeah.
and overall, this is of course your standard spoiler warning before we
Hmm.
actually get into it. So
Yes.
yes,
You can already tell something about the destiny of destruction and
but yeah,
something I don't know.
yeah, it was
I mean
based
I
off a
know.
comic book that ran for a long time. Actually, when did the comic books get first released? You mind pulling that up, William?
I don't know.
Mind pulling that up, William, for
Okay.
William research time.
They can look it up.
So yeah, I never actually read any of these Dark Horse comic books, as I've said myself, but I've heard they're really good. And funny enough, before we get into the movie, I would like to mention there's actually I found on Amazon they actually released a bunch of kind of animated versions of this, not of the exact story, but a bunch of like animated small like an hour or like 90 minute or no like an hour or 30-minute movies where based off some comic book stories they've gone through in Hellboy.
Just want to cut in right here 1994.
Oh, 1994.
March actually. So we're getting up on the anniversary
Oh, what do you
of
know?
a third. Oh man, yeah, 30 years.
Yeah, it's a 30-year-old comic book. But yeah, I feel like we've been discussing a little too much, so let's get into the film.
Discussing or disgusting?
We're both of those things, William.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah,
You know, fair, fair.
I'm.
I know.
Yeah.
I told you while we were viewing. You're talking with another jokester here.
Yep. So let's get into the film. So
Yes.
it begins. This movie has a major theme, and that's choice. And it's literally said in the beginning, and I quote, "What makes a man a man? Is it his origins, where he comes from?" That's like the quote. Also, it begins with the actually. I almost forgot. What's the opening quote in
The opening quote
it actually does only begin with like this, like a text
text
quote thing, like
the
from a
text
Bible or something
opening,
like that.
like if you've ever seen
Uh,
like if you've ever seen the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, America is all about speed.
do
I'm
you
not gonna repeat all of it. Okay, so the quote is about the
could you
seven.
actually just get that off on your phone so
Oh
that we can
god
have it?
dang. Oh dang it. Okay.
But yeah,
Alrighty. Okay.
there's some major themes of this
You see
movie.
what I
It's
have to
about
work with, fellas?
oh wham, you blame me for these things. You didn't pull it up, and
You
stuff.
didn't tell me to pull it up.
How dare you insult me for this?
We then proceed to just forget it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, all right, keep talking. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, this whole movie's about choice, and it's a major thing. And one thing that I kind of like about this movie is the thing is the major like villains in this film. There's kind of like two villains in this film. The overarching and the main, they kind of both work together, so it's no big deal. But the overarching is these guys known as the Arju Jaha, which I probably didn't say that right. But they're like the seven gods of chaos. That'll be revealed more. But Will is about to pull up a quote of it. Do you have it yet?
Hold on. The only thing that's pulling up is just what the only thing that's pulling up right now is just the opening line that wasn't the quote.
Yeah, let's just paraphrase the quote if you
Yeah.
can't find it. But yeah, it's basically like like an alternate reality, dark beings known as the Arjudaha, seven gods of chaos, seek to free themselves from their crystalline prison and bring about the apocalypse.
That's right.
That's basically what it
Yeah,
says.
yeah, yeah. That's
And
yeah.
so back to the what makes a man is his origins, where he has come from, how story starts. Arts. I asked that question a lot myself. Yeah, it basically begins with open narration from the character Professor Bloom, who was working as a paranormal advisor to President. Um,
I guess it was FDR.
no, it was.
Was it Truman?
I
Okay.
think yeah, it was Truman. It was like
Okay.
it was one of the presidents who served during World War II,
All
who
two of them.
because this movie begins during World War II at the late stages of World War II in like 1940 like 1944,
Yes.
1945.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually no, the war ended didn't the war end in
The
19
war ended in 45.
yeah, early late 40 I forgot whether it was late 44 or early 45, whatever. Basically it begins Hitler was becoming desperate. So the Nazis began a massive plan to mix dark magic and science
Science.
together to bring about Hail Mary, basically.
Yeah,
Where they're
we're gonna
basically,
call upon
where young Professor Bloom is here. Who plays Professor Bloom again?
the I don't know who plays young Professor Bloom, but old Professor Bloom is played by John Hurt.
They look. The one thing that was pretty neat. Old John Hurt, old Professor Bloom, and young Professor Bloom look the exact same.
They
They look.
they look, they
Not the
look pretty.
exact same, but they look pretty dang similar. So you can see how one
They
aged
did
into
a
the
good
other,
job.
and they
They
sound
did
similar too.
fine casting.
Yeah, really good casting overall. Which maybe they didn't use any CGI. The thing is that I like about this film. There's very little CGI, and what CGI is in the film, it's
It's
dated.
fine.
It's dated, but overall for the time, it looked quite nice.
There's only like one piece of CGI that like I'm looking back to and I was like, that could that probably wasn't the best, but like most of it's pretty good.
Yeah, most of it looks quite
Like
nice.
honestly, like 20 years ago, like pretty good.
Yeah, it's not the worst CGI overall.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
Hey.
overall, but back to it. So basically, we cut to Broom, who's hanging out
Brew.
with a bunch of military soldiers who on this island off of this coast of Scotland. They're like, why are we here? There's just a bunch of rocks and sheep on this island. No, not rocks. There's a bunch of ruins. The Nazis are up to some. And they're like, well, I don't believe any of this crap. No paranormal stuff's going on here. And then they immediately find themselves a bunch of the
Nazis doing.
swastikas with dragons on them, which is pretty rad looking. I have to say.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the swastika is a good thing, but
the dragon the dragon was the rad part.
yeah, I'm not saying swastikas are good. I'm just saying that the Nazis definitely knew presentation. I'll say that much.
They did well, like yeah, the Nazis were just a big old bunch of folks that were saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm a strong man."
Yeah, or something like that.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, we just
They had a case of a syndrome that I'm not gonna say on.
SPS.
Yeah,
You can put yourself together from that.
yeah.
Back to it.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
they come across all of this, and then we cut to the whole. We then see one of the coolest looking. The Americans are doing an observation on the whole thing, seeing that they're prepping what looks like a massive Dyson's like big portal looking thing, along with a bunch of technology. And then we see the coolest looking character of this in fiction, in my opinion, or of this movie at least.
He was pretty
Carl Rupert Cronin, who's this I'll go in. We'll see more of his character later, but he's like it's described his backstory. He is Hitler's top assassin and the leader of the Fula cult society.
pretty good.
He's just a straight up badass. He's wearing like this weird advanced gas mask looking thing,
Yeah.
and a Nazi uniform, and it looks really.
And like
And
yeah,
the scene is like
the
heavily
trench coat.
raining, so it makes it look really cool.
Yeah,
I'm not-
good lighting, but like good lighting, like enhances
Yeah.
stuff.
There's
I know that's
nothing-
obvious.
Nothing's hard to see in this scene when it's dark. It looks pretty good. And then we find that one of the Nazi commanders is like, Grigori, it's time. We have to open the portal. Why did I make him sound Danish? I don't know.
I don't know.
We have to open the portal,
oh,
yeah.
we have ways of making you talk.
Yeah, but
Like
if
I've
you're
watched a
wondering
lot of
about this
Hogan's Heroes
Grigori,
together.
this is the other villain of this film is Grigory Grimovich Rasputin. I probably didn't read it. It's literally, Rasputin, the famous guy.
It is Tsarist Russia Rasputin.
Which I need to say one thing. It's kind of weird how he got so weirdly fictionalized, increased. Like In reality, he was probably just. In reality, most likely he was just some like fraud wizard man who managed to convince the
Zaris.
gullible czar, or after curing their son of like wasn't it?
I think it was syphilis.
Yeah, syphilis. Not the other syphilis, the blood disease syphilis.
Yeah. Like cured him from his sickness. I don't know.
They don't know how he did it. Most likely he got the son off some bad prescription his doctor was giving him. Whatever. But he basically got in good graces and was mostly just
they
kind of a
said
hedonistic wizard
they
man.
said, "Oh, Rasputin, you did so good." Now as for like the like the fiction thing of like of
Also,
everybody like talking about him, I kind of find it a thing of like everybody just kind of like playing with the myth of like he was this big man who like knew
it's like
stuff.
magic or something like that. When
Yeah,
really
yeah,
he
yeah.
probably wasn't. Most likely.
It's like, well, like this is fiction. It's kind of playing with the myth and everything.
I mean, yeah, he's like the
It's
main
fun.
villain of the. It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's a weird observation and weird thing that's been made in media,
Mm.
done in media with Rasputin as a character.
I
His character
suppose.
looks nothing like Rasputin. I'll have to say that much. He looks actually like a pretty handsome Russian man with a bald head and wearing this big overcoat
He had
and
time.
no shirt for some reason.
That is true. He had no shirt. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
but it cuts to Rasputin who's talking with this like German chick who's like, yes, just in case things go bad, just in case things go to bad, honey, I'm giving you eternal youth and this book that can help you find me for plot if in case anything possibly goes wrong, which nothing bad will happen, but just in case,
Yes, yes, very
in case
good.
I'll give him. I'm gonna. I decided now I'm gonna give him like a stereotypical thick Russian accent that I can do.
Oh,
Someday,
hello,
yes,
yes.
I am going to give my love. I give you this smoke that can help me find you later and eternal youth, so that you can find me.
Now to go full
Ah,
Nikolai from Call of Duty.
yeah.
Oh no, I require vodka.
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically the portal procedure begins, and they give Rasputin this funky-looking glove thing, where then he opens the portal, which it looks like a giant blue portal from Portal,
Based.
where a lamp that was nearby got sucked in, and we kind of get a neat looking thing where we see
Oh
the
yes.
crystal prison of the Ajutaha, which it looks like a bunch of crystals where they're kept inside. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. The crystalline prison. We.
Yeah. And then they're like, and then he gets into this whole speech. I shall open the portal to the. Actually, he had this speech before. Today, I'll do can never be undone. I will open the portal to the Achutaha, are the seven gods of chaos, and from there I will begin a new Eden, and and then our allies will be and our enemies will be crushed. Basically, he's
Yeah,
working for
yeah,
Hitler and all the Nazis and such.
yeah. So he has the big old just speech
Yeah, and then
because of course he did.
as the
He's working
Americans
for
are
the
watching,
Nazis.
some guys just ran with like standard nerdy platoon guy with glasses starts taking pictures of it, and they're like, "Get down!" And
Get
then
down, you
one of
idiot!
these
Haven't you
random
seen Saving Private Ryan?
one of the random Nazis just kind of notices, like, "What was that?" But then
Hey, what was
we
that?
have to stop. And then Broom's like, we have to stop the portal now. They opened it. Okay. So then they toss two grenades over, and then the battle, and then of course grenades do as they do, launching the Nazi into the portal, which I'm guessing he was not supposed to. It's not a good thing because then he
No.
disintegrates, getting the Wilhelm scream. Private
No,
Wilhelm,
no,
no!
no, no. It was like the weirdest Wilhelm scream I've like
Yeah,
heard in recent because like usually the face is off screen whenever it happens, but like the guy was there and just they went wow like right in front of me like
we
I
should
don't know
probably
what to tell you.
we should probably bring this up now, but this movie's PG-13. In the comic books of Hellboy, I'm guessing was not. If you've
Yeah,
seen
no.
some of the more modern Hellboy stories, they really go
Yeah.
into the R rating stuff, which I think looks
Da, da,
good.
da, da, da,
But
da,
this
da,
movie
da, da.
did, I feel like this movie did do well with the PG rating for what they got for. Like, there's
Yes.
they catch some serious bodies in this one.
Oh
Like again, that
yeah.
guy gets literally disintegrated
Oh yeah.
when he touches the
Yeah. Now,
portal.
now given it wasn't like the
Mhm.
the biggest super bit of like
Blood and guts and
gore.
such.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no real gore in this. There is some blood, but there's not really a lot they do in
Well,
this film.
yeah. I mean, like,
Especially,
remember those guys that got turned into skeletons in Spider-Man One?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. That.
Continuing, the battle commences, and Carl Rupert Cronin shows off he's a badass by taking out a bunch of dudes with guns, and including shooting Professor Bloom. Where then he then does a pose, and two knives come out of his arms, like he literally open hand standing in the rain poses for like the invisible cameras.
Like you fool, you fool.
And then, of course, he then starts piecing up the good guys, but then he gets shot a bunch and then just shrugs it off. Maybe he was wearing armor, but it will become more complicated later.
Yeah. We will explain later. We will
He's
leave
about
mystery.
and then he's about to kill Professor Bloom as the chaos of the battle continues. But then Bloom picks out 2 grenades and tosses them at the portal, causing it to explode. Carl goes in to try to get the grenade while getting his hand slowly cut off, and then it explodes. He loses his hand and he flies backwards into a wall. The portal is destroyed, and a massive piece of metal gets sent straight through him and the pillar behind him. So he's dead.
He's dead.
Or is he?
Or is he?
We'll bring that up.
Yes.
And then and then we get a cool shot of Rasputin getting dragged into the portal, where little bits of his little
He
globs
gets
of him.
crumpled in.
Well, yeah, in a really brutal scene. Like I think would have been a lot brutal if they had blood and such or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Rasputin literally gets snapped in half and dragged into the portal.
when it's like, shoot, Rasputin.
Oh yes.
Man, raw.
Rasputin.
Thank you. I
think PG-13. This is a movie PG-13. I always forget there's a difference. There's PG and PG-13.
It's 13. It's PG-13.
I always forget there's a difference. I have to admit.
Well, yeah. Well, see, in PG-13, they get away with saying ass,
and they can get one F word.
Yes, yeah. Usually, but I guess in PG, the most you can get out of that is just tease ass.
Yeah, and such. Whatever. So the portal is destroyed. The good guys win. Yay! But then the armor general's like, don't worry, it stopped. No. And then Broom's like, well, don't worry. I don't know.
It was open for a while.
Something could have got out, and so they're like, search the area. So they begin searching the area, and while Broom and the random guy with glasses go to sit down and talk for a minute. Like, you really believe there is a hell? You want to do these lines?
Oh yeah, do you really believe there's a hell?
I do.
Yeah.
There is. No. Go ahead. Actually, I shouldn't. Go ahead, man.
No. Actually, you keep doing it.
Okay. I do believe there is a dark place. I know there is a dark place, a place with ancient evils that seek to destroy the universe. Grigori almost showed us that day.
That's right.
Grigori, that's Russian. Grigori Remivich, I don't know his middle name. Rasputin.
Mr. Rasputin.
Like the Rasputin? Yes, in 1913, he was invited to a dinner in his honor, where then he was shot, stabbed, clubbed. He was poisoned, shot, stabbed, clubbed, castrated, and then finally drowned. But he was here today. And
that's crazy.
And I don't know the rest of the lines.
Yeah.
But then,
so basically,
as they're showing,
just saying.
As they're showing, they then hear something fall, and they hear some noises. They investigate. They think it's nothing until a weird little red monkey shows up
with a giant brick hand,
and then runs past them. Where the guy with the glasses starts shooting at it. He's like, "Whoa! Don't shoot at it! What the heck is that thing? I don't know. Please don't point your light at it. You're scaring it." What? And then the rest of the soldiers come in like, what the hell's going on in here? It's a red ape. It is not an ape. It's got a big stone in its hand.
And another thing to establish that's kind of important. Dr. Broom is Catholic.
Oh yeah, he's actually carrying
a
little
cross.
Yeah, the little Catholic cross.
Yeah. I'm only mentioning it because it kind of comes in.
Thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot.
And
then he then basically the soldiers are ready to destroy the creature after seeing that it has a giant looks like a tiny devil, and B has a giant rock hand.
Oh yeah.
But Broom convinces him not and pulls out a baby Ruth. Wait, yeah, it's baby Ruth.
Insert Caddyshack reference here.
Yeah, he pulls out a baby Ruth. I mean, I don't know why he brought a baby Ruth, but then again,
he wants a snack.
So yeah, he brought a baby Ruth.
Killing Nazis.
And then just offers it to the little creature, where then it grabs it and then starts eating it. He's just like, hey, come here, I have more candy in a blanket. And then the little creature jumps down and he's like, oh, it's a little baby boy. It's even though it looks nothing like kind of it kind of looks like one. It's just like a little.
It's a baby,
It's a baby boy, and it's like it's a little baby boy. And then more narration where he talks about the boys get an unready father for a especially unique child. The boys gave him a name. One in hindsight is probably not a good one. They called him
Hell. Right.
No. Insert
Hellboy.
And then they get a photo taken. And then credits opening scene where we see flashing newspapers talking about how people believe he exists. And the classic comic books conspiratorial newspaper pages.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Pretty cool.
It's a hoax. It was you, Catman.
Yeah.
I stole that joke. I'm sorry.
So then we
It's
cut
not mine.
to
Just know that.
Moldavia, present day, which in this movie would be 2004. Moldavia
Oh yeah.
is, I don't think it's a country that exists anymore after like the 1940s. After
Uh,
search of
I'm not.
Moldavia.
I'm not sure. I'll want to look up anything else.
But
I'm
if I
sorry.
remember, I gotta say, I will take some things from CinemaSins. This is just some stuff I remember hearing. Moldavia doesn't exist anymore, and also we catch up with two people being escorted by, being led down a pathway by this like one random
Guy.
Moldavian dude, I guess.
Yeah.
They eventually come upon like this underground little ring of circles where, and then they get to the center of this ring of circles. And he's just like, okay, I don't like being here. Give him my gold and we can leave. And it's just like they throw him
They
a
give
tiny
him.
piece of gold,
They give him gold,
which
but
has
it
a,
has a swastika.
and then he gets stabbed through the chest and then falls.
It's Carl. It
He
was
then,
Carl.
yeah, it was the blonde chick that Rasputin gave eternal youth,
I'm trying to think. What
and
was her name?
and Carl.
Like
I don't think we ever actually hear her name.
Ilsa. It was Ilsa. They don't say her name any more times, but like
It was Ilsa.
Ilsa. Yeah,
Do you?
I don't know.
I'll just call her the blonde chick because I can't remember that.
Like I honestly can't remember like
Well,
that much.
Well, in all honesty, she's kind of a very minor character, I have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
She's one of the bad guy's assistants, but
yeah,
that's about
yeah.
it.
See, like she has some pretty good lines, but I am just kind of thinking. I feel like some of like the stuff she did could have just been accomplished by Carl. But
Well, she gives a voice
not.
to the madness and such.
Yeah, yeah,
Because Carl throughout this whole movie is completely silent. He's like a silent killer villain or something like
and
that.
we'll see why he's silent later.
Yeah. So then they let the guy bleed. Yeah, this movie has blood in it. Remember,
Blood,
bleed into
blood,
like this little pattern on the ground, leading to a hole.
very,
But
very Devil
where
May Cry
taking from
esque.
CinemaSins again, maybe this guy should have been a little bit more weary after these guys asked him how quickly he bleeds, because he actually bleeds pretty fast down this hole.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know how much you bleed after getting stabbed to the chest, but I don't know. But
Let's not find out.
yeah, let's not find out. So it
Through
goes
like
into
any
this little
means.
hole, and then from the hole, a naked Rasputin. They don't actually show anything, but he's like drenched in blood. Comes out like, I guess it was like a portal to
We
wherever he was.
Now hold on. We don't actually know that he didn't have anything down that. Like we just know he wasn't wearing a shirt. So he could have come up with some underpants.
That's usually not a
Probably
thing.
not.
Yeah, it's probably
No, I
if I know
don't
one
know.
thing about demonic summons, they usually don't wear clothes.
Yeah, base. Yeah,
Not like
no.
I know anything about summoning demons. What?
He's not he hasn't done any summoning
Yeah.
for those who are
Yeah.
curious.
But yeah, also here's a weird plot point that was into the deleted scenes that kind of got removed. I'll just bring up now.
I'll let him take care of this. He's seen him.
Gory said it like the blonde chick says, "By God, what happened to your eyes?" Because for a minute there was a neat plot, there was a tiny plot point that I see why it was okay to be removed, but that he didn't have eyes in his sockets, and then they later have a scene where they're replaced with like fakes. And throughout a couple scenes in this movie, up until one, you don't actually see his eyes because he's wearing glasses. So you could definitely see how they just spliced it in. Like it doesn't really matter. I'm just bringing it up right now.
Well, I'm recording this on my bed.
But yeah,
I took a nap while he was doing that explanation.
and then we cut back to New York. Not New York. It's New Jersey, right? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's New Jersey, where
On the news.
Professor Bloom is currently going under like a bunch of scans, where the doctors are like, should we tell him? It's definitely apparent that nothing's good going on with him, and like I'm pretty sure he's at like a cancer place, like they tell us you
Yes.
have one of those things.
Yeah.
So you can guess 1, 2, 3. They never. I'll just say this right now. He's dying from like some kind of thing. I'm guessing cancer. They never actually tell you what specifically he's dying from. They just say he's really sick.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm guessing he might have everything because we see different CAT scans from both his basically everywhere. So I'm guessing he's got like like a bunch of cancers or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Working with paranormal stuff, I don't necessarily know if that's good for your health.
Yeah,
It quite an observation, I know.
yeah, I don't know, but I'm just bringing that up right now because the movie. I'm not saying the movie does bad with it. I'm just saying they don't bring it up. They don't bring it up.
Yeah, it's more of just a I don't know. Perhaps it's a
It's a
sign
it's a
of just
slight plot point because he doesn't die from the cancer. He dies from something else.
yes.
So
We gave the spoiler.
we
warning.
then cut to like a news report where what's his name?
Wait, which guy?
The bald guy.
Oh, I don't know. the bald man. We'll just call him bald man. We'll call him George Costanza. He's bald.
Wait, they might say on the back. Nah, I don't know. I apologize, everyone.
It's fine. I can't remember them
Yeah, but like
saying
this,
his name.
they don't. Yeah, I don't know if they ever say his name actually. But like this
Well,
bald FBI administrator guy is talking online, like where they're, like one of those classic UFO sightings channels. Like, here's a picture of Hellboy where it could see his horns and his tail. And he's like, well, why are these pictures of Hellboy and UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot,
always out of
Hellboy?
focus.
Yeah, why are they always out of focus? And he basically is like, well, I have a promise to the American people. The Bureau of Paranormal Investigations does not exist. And then it cuts immediately to the Bureau of,
Because of course,
which is like this really nice building where
Myers.
John Myers, yeah, I know his name's John, but I forgot the last name, Myers. John Myers rolls up on a motorbike, who is just like real. The entire building is like this really nice. It got like a bowl of fire out in the front thing.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
marble and everything too.
very
But it
good.
says like a sign. Their cover up is that they're a waste management service, which is kind of hilarious.
Woke up this morning, got
But
some gab.
yeah,
I
it's
stole, I
kind
stole
of,
that from video game Donkey. I'm
which
sorry,
it is
man.
kind of hilarious that they can get away with that just nobody's like questioning like, why is the waste management service so nice? I'm not saying that waste management services buildings can't be nice. I'm just saying not that nice.
I've seen one. It wasn't great.
But then John Myers comes in and is just like, hey, I'm John Myers. I'm transferring from the FBI here. Just like, sure you are. He gets his eyes checked and let into the building.
hmm
Where then the guy at the front desk is like, you're 5 minutes late. See you later. And then he goes on like this.
Like a little
Luckily, he was
elevator.
standing in the right place on the floor, like because luckily he wasn't standing anywhere else where he
hmm
is. My goodness,
He's good.
he's like. It turns out the floor panel he was standing on was actually a secret elevator, and he's brought down to into the base, aka level 51. Ha ha,
Ha ha
area
ha
51.
ha.
Ar har har.
Ah, ha 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 ha.
Rar har har.
If anybody is familiar with the laughing from Final Fantasy X, insert there.
Yeah, but so basically, he finds himself in the area, the base of paranormal research, where then he walks into this like really nice library overall with like, and he sees 3 books and a big tank of water, and
hmm
then he hears a turn the. Do you want to do, Abe?
Um, I can't. I'll let you do, Abe.
Turn the pages, please. What? Turn, and then it was revealed that Mr. Shape of Water himself, Abe Sapien, comes in and is like, turn the pages, please.
Well, tell you this. I know I told you I'd give you this line, but I'm feeling a
I'll
second
let you
wind.
explain it. And I need to go
Okay,
get a drink.
so want to say this. If I had a nickel for every time there was if I had a nickel for every time there was a Guillermo del Toro movie with a fish humanoid man, and I believe they were the same actor, Doug Jones. If if I had a nickel every time there was a fish man played by Doug Jones in a Guillermo del Toro movie, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's funny that it happened twice. Um, well, actually, I guess I'd have 3 nickels.
I'm
But
back.
hello. Well, I guess if it's like 2 characters to two like big characters in a Guillermo del Toro movie that's a fish man played by actor Doug Jones, then yeah.
Yeah, but they even look similar. I have to say that
Yeah.
much.
Oh, definitely.
I'm not saying that. Could Guillermo del Toro steal from himself technically, or from Dark Horse's pictures? I don't know. Maybe look up this. I have never actually seen the
Shape of
Shape of
Water.
Water. So
I saw it I saw it a couple years ago, but
all I know it's like it's a weird person romance, but it's gonna
yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean,
Leaving
I
it.
mean, I mean, it was pretty good from what I remember.
Yeah. So Abe tells John to please flip the pages of the 3 books. So like, and then Professor Bloom shows up and he's like,
Professor
"Wait, is he
Bloom.
reading these 3 books? Yeah, he reads 3 books every day. A day. What is it? No, what he is. His name is Abe Sapien. He was discovered in like this hospital alive a long time ago. With the only bit of evidence for his history is the fact that this little note on the side of his tank reading, uh, of sapien, like a fish sapien or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
1860, like, what was the year Abraham Lincoln died?
That was okay. It was 18.
So ask Siri on your phone.
Okay, well, I'm gonna type it in because I don't know. I'll say the fake thing. Okay. Hold on. What
Yeah, but
is
basically, the sticker on his tank said the date he technically though the date that is shown on the tank says that the
1865?
1865, but he was shot,
1865.
but it said 1863. And no, 1865. Which day? Like they got the days wrong because he was shot like on one day and only died like 2 days after the fact. So
Yeah,
that's something people kind of forget about, which makes sense. The assassination, Abraham Lincoln didn't immediately die after getting shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth. He
which
died a couple days later, which
which is
risks.
crazy because the doctors were poking his head wound
I know, but yeah, he died
with their
after he died
filthy
afterwards.
hands.
So I guess they decided to name him Abraham. Like, oh, he was born. He was this tank was labeled the same day Abraham Lincoln died. I guess let's just call him Abraham.
But yeah, it's Abe. He's pretty cool. I like him.
He's a pretty cool character. He gets a lot
He's
more character development in the second film, not as much in this film.
which I would very much like to see one day, but not now
Yeah,
because we are currently recording that because this is in fact what we are doing.
yeah. So
I don't know.
So yeah, basically then Professor Bloom is talking to Jim just like, oh, where he's just like, so do you know who I am? And then Abe reveals his cool ability where he's like, John T. Myers. The T stands for Thaddeus, for your sister's older brother, third child. Scar on on your chin happened when you were 10. You're still wondering if it will ever fade.
Very good.
As it turns out, Abe has like this pretty broken power where he's able to read people like a book
Yeah.
by touching them or like putting. He basically has to put his hand to like any surface and like, but your birth date was December 15th, 2009. You have 3 children and you can fit 5 pickles up your butt.
He didn't. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's like, how do you know?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
I had to make that
Let's
joke. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
But yeah,
All
Abe
right.
is able to read things like that. He's got like and as the professor, as we're just gonna, do we want to keep calling him Professor Bloom? But because they always refer
Let's
to him
just
as just
call
the
him the
professor.
professor. I don't know.
The professor goes on like, oh yes, he has a cool frontal lobe that allows him to see things like this. But and John Myers is like, why am I here and who are you people? Well, John Myers. Did you remember that sign at the front of the place that said, when in the absence of light, darkness remains? Well, basically, to sum it up, what it means is the fact that there are things that go bump in the night, Mr. Myers, and we are the ones who bump back. And then he goes on to a quick like history lesson, like Hitler's occult society began in like the late 30s, and I was brought on by the president during the 40s to help fight in the occult wars. Especially it got really bad after Hitler got his hands on the Spear of Longinus, which makes whoever holds it invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
The Spear of Longinus, for anyone who doesn't know, is the spear that pierced the side of Jesus Christ during his crucifixion, and it's like one of the 3 major relics. It's like one of the 2 relics that is most associated with Jesus Christ, the Holy Grail, and the Spear of Longinus. I don't know why anybody doesn't consider the cross something. I mean, it's the symbol and such, but like the actual cross, maybe because it's like a wooden cross.
Sure, I don't actually know about that. I'll have to look into that.
I'll have to look into that
at some point. I don't know.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
But and then eventually the occult wars ended with why am I making him sound like a 1950s 1950 boxing?
Honestly, own it, man. Like hit it, man.
Yeah. And it ended eventually in 1958 with the death of Adolf Hitler.
Wait, but Adolf Hitler died in 1945. Oh yes, he did.
Which basically confirms that most likely that wasn't him or something like that. Like classic comic book story, alternate history.
More playing with the myths
in history
of history and everything. Hitler died in that bunker. Anyone who says he didn't, get checked.
Yeah. One of his best artist paintings ever, at the side of a wall in a bunker in Berlin.
Honestly based. Okay, all right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Moving on. So, basically, he then comes to an end of the door with Clay, which I'm surprised I remember his name and not the bald guy.
I forgot his name also. Oh my
Clay, who's
god.
basically like the main leader of the agent groups or something like that. He basically tells them like, oh yeah, he's kept in. They play the pronoun game a lot in this like
Yeah.
second. Like we know who they're talking about, but the characters, of course, are gonna pander around it. Like he's grounded after he tried escaping again. And who's he? Well, you see the fish guy before? Yeah. Well, you'll see something weird. You'll see some weird stuff about working around here.
Oh
He
yeah.
then opens the door and reveals Hellboy's room, where basically it's like a room full of TV screens, a bunch
Cats.
of random stuff, and a large amount of cats. The
A
thing
lot
is,
of cats.
he's got a. It's even described.
He
He
loves
eats like
cats.
5 times a day, has a bunch of cats, and really likes TV and candy. Yeah,
Pretty good.
funny enough, Professor Bloom handed John 2 more candy bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2
Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth candy bars, which looks like that's Hellboy's favorite candy.
He just loves them. I don't know what
Yeah,
to tell you.
Hellboy's got one thing that I found it kind of nice is they managed to humanize Hellboy quite a bit. Like he's got like some standard traits like he likes good food, TV and cats, which is pretty cute. Like
Yeah.
usually those are some considered some of these somewhat positive traits, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then of course we're talking about the guy this whole movie, but he's finally revealed in all his glory.
Oh ho ho. It's Hellboy.
After he, especially like they play the pronoun game so much, Clay literally hands John a Hellboy comic book. Also as it turns out the Hellboy comic book is canon in the Hellboy universe, which is probably
which is crazy.
most likely it's just like a nod to the fact like, oh yeah, Hellboy's comic book, like it's one of those comic book nods, you
Yeah.
know, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh my,
god, my handprint
we're at
was.
the very start of the movie, and we're already 41 minutes in. Good God.
Oh my god.
Well, we've actually gone over a good amount. Moving on, Hellboy is just kind of not happy to see John because I guess he doesn't like new people, especially since John is staring at his horns while
Yeah.
where he's exercising.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
You may be thinking it. Don't say it. I forbid you from saying it.
Yeah, basically, as it's even confirmed that Hellboy is actually canonically 60 years old in this movie. But the thing is, he doesn't. He kind of ages as, and I quote, reverse cat years, reverse dog years, reverse dog years.
Whatever.
Where he's young. He actually is only barely out of his 20s, even though he's played by an actor who's.
I guess was 50
Yeah.
during
Wait, quick question. Who is he played by?
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he's played by Ron Perlman, who's I was like the perfect casting. Like it's like one of those actor roles where you just like wreck is like Ian McGregor for Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's just so perfect you can't see anybody else in the role.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, there's been other people in the role. I'm saying they've done good too, but I'm just saying it's kind of like one of those ones like he just did such a good job that you're like, damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He did such a good job. And he fits so perfectly. But yeah, so Hellboy kind of intimidates John for a minute until they get a code red. Just like, oh,
they're playing
team up,
our
guy.
song.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
Yeah, team up. Let's get out of here, Myers. Let's go and kill some monsters. So then roll up on like the New Jersey or New York, like this.
Whatever.
Like it's some kind of museum,
library.
like a cult museum or something like that, where they got a bunch of religious artifacts.
Oh yeah.
Where this like a news reporter's like, there's been a sudden alarm trip off and possible break-in at this museum. And we have cops, firemen, and a large dumped garbage truck coming through it. As it turns out, the Hellboy mobile is concealed to be actually a giant garbage truck, which I just realized on this watching, this most recent watching was kind of in relation to the fact that it's a waste management service, which I really like. I didn't realize that before, which I found pretty cool. Well, moving on from that tidbit, moving on from that tidbit. So Hellboy and Abe are chewing in there like.
Oh yeah, and
well, they're also playing the pronoun game again, where Red, as he's given a nickname, Hellboy is talking about like, how can I get a girl when I drive around in a garbage truck? I should be out there with her. You don't have to pull psychic stuff on me. I don't have to pull psychic stuff with you. You're easy. Remember, Red, Liz left us. It's better to stay with that. Yeah, Liz is an important character in this movie.
We'll get to Liz.
But know that she's an important character in the movie. So they get inside the museum and it's like, okay, what's the problem? Well, 6 guards are dead, and we know there's like some massive creature in there that was released from one of these artifacts. What do you mean? All these artifacts are supposed to be fakes and replicates. Well, one of them isn't supposed to be. So another thing Hellboy does a lot, it's kind of like he's kind of like a macho lone wolf kind of thing going on.
Yes.
Where he's even smoking like a stogie, or a cigar. Is Stogie like a brand or
That's I don't
I don't
know.
know.
The only cigar I really like know more than like one thing about is the Cuban cigar, and
Yeah,
the only thing I know about that is illegal and
yeah.
everything. That's about it.
Yeah, that's overall all I could think of. But move because I just
However,
wondered. But he's
however,
smoking a cigar, and then when he
oh
sees his dad, actually he even calls him father and hides the cigar. I guess he's just they. One thing that's pretty fun about Hellboy, he's kind of acts around his dad like some teen, like an angsty. He kind of acts like an
yeah.
angsty teen at different points because
And you would know, you angsty teen,
oh haha, I'm
you're
technically
you're 18. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
legally an adult. You can't tell.
I'm
I mean,
stuck. I'm stuck being a teen for like I don't know another year.
yeah, whatever. But so they get inside, and then Hellboy prepares to fight the creature while Abe pulls out, touches the door with his
It
hand. Is
says,
like, oh, there's something really
oh,
old and
it's
ancient
ancient and hungry.
yeah, like it's like yeah, he basically summarized, yeah, there's a very big dangerous monster in there.
Yep.
So look, Red goes in alone. Even Meyer and even John asks like, why is he going in alone? Hey, he likes to do with the whole lone wolf thingy, and Abe starts hitting the books by reading upon whatever this creature is, which I feel like it should be the first thing before Red actually goes in, just in case he
Yes.
knows
Read
anything, because
read the briefing.
that's really important. I don't know,
Yeah.
because it's important for later. Red gets in there and then sees like a massive creature hanging off the wall, eating one of the dead guards. And he even
Hmm.
has a line: six dead guards, debuckled and eaten entirely. Wow, that's gonna take a lot of fiber to move out. And
Oh yeah.
then plops down another one of my favorite character designs in this movie and overall in fiction, Samael, the Desolate One, Hound of
Samael.
Destruction, and the seed, the Hound of the Hound of the Hound of the Seed of Destruction. Basically, he's got a lot of evil titles.
Yeah. So many.
The Shadow, Son of
But but
Nergal,
but we but we
How,
just call him Samael.
Samael, the Desolate One. He's also a really cool design. A lot of the demons in this film, besides Hellboy himself, a lot of the evil monsters and demons in both these movies actually look a lot different from their what you'd understand counterpart. Especially
Hmm.
the Dahar and Samael look like they're something straight out of H.P. Lovecraft, which
Oh
is pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
Samael
Definitely.
looks like a gorilla mixed with an octopus with a horse skull,
Oh yeah.
while having a horse skull and four eyes.
I couldn't put it very much. Why am I yawning? Oh my god. Oh, it's
Yeah.
because I'm in. It's because I'm on my
Sure.
bed.
Yeah. You're just yawning.
Yeah.
Don't do that too much, or
I'm
it's gonna be
sorry. I'm
infectious.
sorry.
Yeah, but so then Hellboy basically starts trying to telling hi Samael, just give up, man. He runs away, and then Hellboy just shoots him like, okay, I took care of it. Like, and Abe's like, no, you didn't take care of it because as it turns out in the books, I should have read this earlier. He's Samael the Desolate One, son of Nergal, the Pestilent One, and the Hound of Resurrection, which means
Hound of resurrection.
Samael's famous for the fact that he can shrug stuff like that off.
Oh
So
yeah.
then he attacks Hellboy, launching him out of a window. Where then he plops into an alleyway, seeing Rasputin just walking in there with his $500 shades.
And his finest
Is it?
priest outfit.
Yeah, because in real life, and I'm
Ras-
guessing in this story too, Rasputin was a priest. He was a famous priest in Russia, and that's why he was like, that's how he kind of also got in touch with the Tsar family,
yes.
because he was such a famous, and he was famous for like being a healer who
They
could possibly
said.
heal their sons of syphilis.
They said, "Oh hello." They said, "Oh hello, Rasputin. Could
But
you come
yeah,
in, priest?"
they basically then Hellboy tries shooting him, but they just straight up disappears like he is a shadow for goodness sake.
Oh yeah.
She might as well be doing that because he's magic.
Oh yeah.
So then, also there. So yeah, then Samael plops down and starts attacking Hellboy. Where then he splurts out a tentacle tongue out of his mouth,
Because of course he does.
attacking Hellboy grabbing onto Hellboy's arm. Where then John comes out and does the reasonable thing and starts lighting Samael up with his gun.
Which, yeah, yeah,
But
based.
Hellboy's kind of pissed because he doesn't like anybody helping him
I
on these
don't
jobs.
need no stinking partner.
Yeah, he's kind of the macho lone wolf thing, which is
Yeah.
actually which sometimes would be bad, but this one I actually quite like. Maybe consider me biased. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, then Samael regenerates, of course, and attacks both of them. While Hellboy's having John load up like a tracking bullet into his gun,
Samaritan.
into his Samaritan. Oh yeah, Hellboy's got like a comedically large gun. This like
Well,
it's
he's
a
got a comedically large right hand, so like I don't
yeah
know.
yeah. Basically, what he's the Samaritan he's holding on to is like a giant like revolver handgun, like a
Yeah,
giant Magnum gun, which looks like if it was a real gun, it'd break the wrist of anybody who tried to using it.
and oh yeah,
Which fires pretty. As he even says this himself when first fighting Samael. Well, the Samaritan fires really big bullets. Whatever.
which is good because I don't have good accuracy.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
basically, the tracking bullet is kind of hilarious. It's literally a glow stick bullet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, as he's also loading the gun, he notices like some kind of weird little critter on Hellboy's arm. He's like, "Oh
I just
crap!"
call it the parasite.
Yeah, the parasite. So he takes it off and then proceeds to fire the bullet into Samael, causing him. One thing that they also do really cool in this movie is show off Samael's regeneration abilities in a
Oh
pretty
yeah.
PG way by literally like when he fly after Hellboy shoots him off the wall, he literally breaks his like breaks his hip and turns 360 around. So then he
Oh
literally
yeah.
360 fixes his back leg bones.
Like
And then he does this a lot. Like
designs.
when he breaks his arm, he literally just puts it back into place like it's nothing. He's
Yeah.
the Hound of Resurrection, and
Hound.
which kind of makes me think it's hilarious because I mean he was probably unstoppable back like in the or like in the medieval times
I'll let you
before
do
they
the
had like
Buffy the
guns and other stuff like that. But
I'll let you do the Buffy the Vampire
it's
Slayer bit.
because like there was it kind of reminds me of something funny. This will always be some kind of funny idea to me like of like there was a vampire Buffy was fighting in Buffy the Vampire Slayer who had like a quote like no weapon forged by mortal man could defeat me. And then Buffy's just like, well, it's been a couple centuries since that happened, so times have changed. And just pulls out a rocket launcher and obliterates him. Which, yeah, like modern times versus old immortality usually means that the modern times wins.
You, usually.
So then Hellboy starts chasing Samael through the like a hot crowd, Halloween crowd, eventually losing track of him after having to save John, and then finds him hanging out in the subway system, where he then jumps through a subway car. Hellboy tries chasing after him, but I guess the subway guard kind of rightfully
Big
doesn't.
Spider-Man 2 vibes, by the way.
Yeah, he then basically starts taking a fire extinguisher and bashing Hellboy on the head.
I'm on your side.
Yeah, sure. And
Bar.
then Hellboy follows under the train and gets his horns.
Like,
This movie's good, but there's a weird inconsistency where he touches his horns after they're hit by a bunch by a train, where he burns himself on that. Where then he then finds Samael again, breaking his jaw. Where then he just reattaches
because
it.
of course he is.
Samael then gets on top of Hellboy, where then Hellboy decides he's gonna fry cook him. Where he grabs onto one of the the like live electrical wires of the train
Subway.
tracks of the subway tracks, absolutely frying Samael, setting him on fire, and basically flash cooking him. And then Hellboy then says, "I'm fireproof. You're not," even though he cinched his fingers on his horns a second ago.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
No big deal.
yeah,
I just noticed this. It was pointed out a while. It was pointed out to me a while ago.
yeah.
So then Samael is defeated, basically been burnt to a crisp on the side of the tracks.
I have a better like little just thing about something burning like later in the movie. But I'll get to it when we get to it.
So yeah,
What time are we up to, by the way, Hayden?
I don't care. Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
I have no
keep-
real time limit on this.
Who knows? Yeah, which is very good. You gotta love unlimited time, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, Hellboy basically does like, okay, sorry, John, sorry, Myers, I'm leaving to get out of here, but but you're not supposed to be leaving, like you're supposed to be secret entities. Yeah,
Hey,
sorry,
John,
bye, Myers, I don't
bye.
care. Then he just turns off his tracking thing and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And where he's going is a psychiatric hospital to meet his girlfriend.
Liz.
Yeah, his girlfriend Liz, who's an important character.
Oh yeah.
Basically, he meets up with her after some beer he stole with some beer he stole.
With his tail,
Yeah.
he just stole it through like a bench.
Yeah. And then he starts talking to her a little bit, about life problems and such, where she's like, Red, I appreciate you coming to see me, but I don't want it anymore. I'm finally found a life that's home to me. Yes, I'm in a psychiatric hospital, but I'm actually doing pretty good for myself. And the reason she's in that psychiatric hospital is not because she's crazy or has mental illness. It's because she literally has fire powers. Like she can literally control
But
fire
like,
powers.
but nuke fire powers.
It's
Like,
pretty problematic. But overall, um, oh yeah. So then, yeah, Hellboy starts talking to her for a little bit. Then she's like, Red, if you really do care about me, you have to let me go because I've already found a sort of normal life
mm-hmm.
here. Or then as Hellboy describes them, the nanny squad comes to pick him up
Yes.
after where he's injured because he's losing a lot of blood. Yeah, which makes sense. He was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
He's then taken back to their building, which, if I'm correct, I don't know why I'm forgetting this. I've seen this movie a lot. But then the whole Liz scene
Oh
begins next.
yes, yeah.
Is that what happens next?
What happens next is the ghostly Rasputin.
Oh yeah, basically we cut to back where Liz is back inside the hospital, back
And
in the psychiatric. No, wait. I don't. I
wait,
think.
wait, maybe the next thing was them doing surgery. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. The next thing was them doing
No, I
surgery
feel
on
like they
Hell.
both happen in similar scenes because I don't remember it happening any later in the film. So
Which scene do you want to pick to do first?
I say the flame scene because it's the one I just put up first. These
Okay.
happen similar at similar times, which I don't think is a big thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Where, yeah, that's what happens. And actually, look, dang, I don't know why I forgot this all of a sudden.
Hel- Want me to help you out?
What can you think happened next after Hellboy was taken back by the other group, by the other guys?
Uh,
Oh, I remember. Okay, we are way off. I remember what happened next. Basically, we
okay, go
cut
on.
to the museum. We cut to the museum.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
where basically it's revealed what happened with the museum and how Samael got out. So we find where basically how they figure it out is that there's a blade on the ground and Abe touches it while they're all investigating. The bald like leader guy is upset the fact that he has to keep coming up with excuses for all the stuff happening online
Mm,
on the news. But then he's like, Professor, they were here. Where it's using as vague as possible.
mm,
Where then the professor goes in and touches Abe, where then Abe basically shows him a quick like flashback scene of what happened after touching the sword, which reveals the fact that Carl Rupert Cronin is alive. He is
mm.
not dead, and he is like wearing like some skin tight suit with like a metal chest plate, like some assassin gear,
Yeah.
with two, what did you call them, swords?
I called them sword tonfas.
Yeah, they're like double bladed swords that that holds like he uses them like a police baton swords.
Those are tonfas.
Yeah, tonfa swords basically.
Yes.
He's basically working. He somehow broke into the museum while all the guards are looking around, and then is about to go to this big statue that contains the stuff where Samael came from. Where then the like blonde chick comes in and smashes it just unceremoniously with a mallet,
With like with
the glass that's around it, and
yeah,
then he cuts
like
it open. But of course, all the guards take notice and come to try to stop them.
of
She
course.
pulls out like this little
The,
glass container full of salt, where then she tells Carl to take care of the guards, where he then starts spinning his blades around, where of course the guards. I guess maybe there's a whole thing where you don't shoot a guy until you can, but he's just definitely holding deadly threats. But then two of the guards up above start shooting at him, where then as it turns out, he can deflect bullets with those swords, where killing the guards. And then
he's a Jedi.
the other guards just straight up open fire on him, but it doesn't really affect him, and all that comes out is sand. Yeah, this guy
Sand.
cannot die in the normal sense.
Yeah,
He's
they
or
they, they say later that any bit of blood that was in him
is
was
dust at this point, which is a
yes.
pretty PG way of showing him bleeding without having him actually bleeding.
Yeah.
Just literally just bleed. He's like a sandbag, which is kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
hilarious.
and like not only is it kind of like just doing it in less of a non-bloody way, but it also kind of shows like another bit of a horror aspect to it, because like he's a Sandman now,
He then
not that one, but yeah.
he then starts piecing the guards. He then starts killing. Then he kills the rest of the guards. Where then Rasputin comes in, and as it turns out, what was the little glass thing that the blonde chick pulled out was actually like salt made from the tear of 1,000 angels, which contained Samael's spirit. So then, using his like some his stank breath, which
Mm-hmm.
it's not like his stank breath actually. It's more like some green smoke he exhales from his butt.
It just looks like the origins of Catwoman in the horrible movie Catwoman.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, like
So then he brings
Just started
Samael
thinking
back.
about
He
that.
even says it
Sorry.
himself. Samael, when you die and are brought back to life, you shall rise again from the dead as two. The thing is, I'm just bringing this up now. Rasputin gave Samael the ability to
More.
but and every time he resurrects, he comes back as two more of himself.
The
And how he
Hydra.
does this is it's revealed in the next scene where, oh wait, after the whole flashback scene where Samael is resurrected, uh, Abe is like, "Oh, Professor, you're really sick." Again, not really explaining what he's happening to him. He's like, "Don't tell Hellboy. We have more stuff to focus on."
My boy. I love Hellboy.
So
He's so
actually, funny
fun.
enough, I think we did a scene out of order. Then after this scene is where they met up. He met up with Liz,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So then they meet up with Liz. All that
and then that
the
happens,
the
and they
nanny squad.
take him back to the like where they
Federal
treat
Bureau of Control.
where they're treating him like Abe's removing a bunch of what appears. As it turns out, that thing that Samael latched onto his arm was actually like the parasite would laid eggs under his skin. These
Mm,
eggs are Samael eggs. As it turns out, he can reproduce asexually.
very good.
He, as it turns out, now this is where it comes into play. Rasputin, and I think what could always happen is that Samael was immortal if as long as the eggs would come back. But what Rasputin gave him the ability to do is every time he does die, he comes back again twice. Where there's two Samaels now
It like I said,
after
it's
the
the
eggs
Hydra.
after the eggs kind of after new Samael born from the eggs. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Also makes them a lot more dangerous now unless you destroy the eggs too.
Yeah. So
Or
then they're like, shoot,
we have
he was on your arm for like 5 seconds and he laid like 3 eggs in you. So like, was there any point where you might have lost track of him? Well, there was like that series where I was on the subway and getting hit by the guy.
and I lost track while I was under the train, just like
We gotta get back to those subway tunnels at the earliest point and track down those eggs. Get back to business,
so.
Costanza.
So then they go under. Okay, so no, they don't do this yet. Then the Liz scene
Then
begins,
the Liz. Okay, so the Liz scene happens where she's just kind of sleeping in her room at the ward. A guy comes in doing bed checks. You know
and
how
then
it
he
is,
leaves, and then Rasputin just straight up comes out of the shadows, just
with
like
his glasses and priest garb again.
it's like daughter of fire. You have forgotten who you are. Let me help you remember. And then he just kind of kisses her on the forehead, where then and then a old scar, I guess, kind of shines brightly, and then she has a memory flashback where a bunch of kids were throwing rocks at her, calling her a freak. Until then, she caught on fire, but not in the bad way. Well, technically in the
Well,
bad way.
yes, in the well, not for her. Well, also for her, but yeah,
For
she's
everyone else around her. Basically,
oh
she
yeah,
then starts screaming somebody to help her, where then she literally nukes,
yeah,
probably kill,
like
probably
they are
incinerator
dead. They died.
those four kids who were messing with
Like
her, and
like
anybody else in
holy
like a
crap.
few in meter radius absolutely were vaporized.
Yeah, like I was honestly like, dang,
And then
they did it.
Liz then starts kind of spazzing out in bed, burning everything around her. While the guards are just chilling in the room, then notice the entire freaking building explodes while Liz is from Liz. No, like it didn't like it
It
basically
it,
went off
it all
all in
just it all
flames.
just like
She
flamed
was
up.
probably completely fine, but everything else,
Everyone else.
I'm pretty sure almost everybody in the building was dead, if not everyone, which is pretty crazy overall.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Like
then it cuts
OP.
to where John is bringing like food to Hellboy. Where Hellboy is grinding down his. The thing is, Hellboy grinds down his like with using like a power saw or like some kind of sander.
It was a belt sander.
Oh yeah, sands down his horns. Which in the movie they give a logic the fact that he does it to fit in, which doesn't make a lot of sense because he's still a big red guy, and
Well,
it's not like he completely gets
I
rid of the
guess he
horns.
does what he
A
he
better
does
way of
what he
giving
wants.
logic to that would be that it's a lot easier to put on a shirt without horns
Based.
and walk through doorways and
Oh yeah.
basically do anything
Yeah,
else.
because we see what his horns would look like, and they're pretty tall.
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty
tall, gotta
long.
say.
Yeah, but basically Hellboy's kind of mad that she. No wait, is it the sanding thing? Well,
It is.
yeah, he's talking to Clay like how can many buildings can she keep blowing up without. Yeah, the professor's there too. I think no, it was just Clay. No, basically he's well, we're just going to continue. He's complaining that like how many buildings can she keep blowing up without she belongs here at the bureau. Yeah, she for a while used to live at the bureau with them, where I'm guessing Hellboy became smitten with her, and basically
Oh yeah.
they kind of a lot they grew up with a lot with each other, and a lot of stuff
Mhm.
changed.
Oh yeah.
So
What
we,
happened? Okay.
so yeah, basically, but then John kind of voices like, "Hey, maybe I can help get her back." Where Hellboy's kind of generally mad at him because he just mad at him in general. It's his macho thing, and
Yeah.
he might be approaching on his girl or something like that.
Yeah.
So he basically is like, "So what the heck is with your thing, John Myers? Why are you here? What area of expertise that keeps you here?" Yeah, which is a pretty good question. Which
Yeah.
then he
Like
which
they
then he
just kind
talks to
of bought
Professor
him here.
Broom like, "Hey man, I don't want to work here anymore. He doesn't like me. I'm quitting." But then Professor Broom's like, "I'm dying, Myers, and like a father, I care about my son after I'm gone." And in medieval tales, they usually had a young knight who was young and experienced but pure of heart. Like, dude, I'm not pure of heart. Yes, you are. You can help my son grow to become a
That
man.
the guy who says yes, you are is Abe. Like Abe's just kind of standing there.
Well, yeah, he kind of just. I think he lives in that tank next to the
Yeah. Yeah.
library and such. He probably hangs out in there a lot. How does he get out of the tank? This
There's
probably
a ladder.
yeah. He's probably it's probably like a pool where you can get.
We just didn't see it.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah, John then goes to like I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the next scene. He goes, no, no.
Hold on, speak it up. Maybe I'll
It's the
remember.
scene where he goes to find Liz at the like to see if he can bring her back. Yeah, I call this one. So yeah, he goes to find Liz where she's kind of sitting in a room by herself because she's pretty upset. Where John tries comforting her, like, "Hey, Liz, that's a pretty name. Like a lot of the women in
60% of the women in the world are named Liz.
it's not really much to me. My name's John, T. Myers.
John T. Meyer.
That's a pretty average name.
John Beauregard
It's
Myers.
probably average name. So then he manages to somehow convince her to go back to the bureau. So
There we go.
now we can cut to another scene where
All right.
back to the underground like subway system
I laid
with
you
Clay,
beyond
two other
the ground.
unnamed agents, and Abe along with Hellboy are down there going to look for all the eggs.
They gotta go find him. Back
As
to
it
their
turns
prison.
out, the Samael probably found a pretty dang good. As it turns out, the Samael eggs need a cool,
Humid
a dark,
place.
humid environment to grow,
So they.
which they probably found the jackpot because it's like an old reservoir underneath these dank and dark subway tunnels.
Yes.
Which, after bashing down a wall, they find like a pull up a sewer grate. In a deleted scene, this same room is one where um, Rasputin gets his his new fake eyeballs.
Uh-huh. Oh, and another thing about whenever the wall's being bashed in, it shows that like a little bit of the ways away that Dr. Carl is just kind of like working.
He's just chilling in a room with his mask off. Not well. He's
Well,
still
not
wearing
complete, like the eyelids are open
he's
and we
wearing a
see his
cloth
eyes.
thing. He's got some creepy looking eyes.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
he hears them coming and of course gets prepared for it. I'm guessing he's just standing guard waiting for them. Actually,
Yeah.
he's probably intentionally waiting for them, seeing how things eventually turn out.
Mhm.
They pull up a sewer grate and find a water area which probably contains all the Samaels.
Probably.
Which actually, it
Yeah.
does contain where the
It
Samaels are.
does. Oh,
So
I
then,
watched it. I did.
realizing because Abe has the water adventures, they're gonna send him down. Which then he asks a reasonable question: Why again do I do this? Rotten eggs and the safety of mankind? Huh.
Uh,
So then Hellboy gives Abe like this little reliquary. Let me give you a quick definition. A reliquary is like any item and or body part of a major religious figure, or which in this case is a pink bone of a pinky finger of Saint Dionysus, which is said to kind of like hide where um, Abe is, so that the Sammies don't see him.
old Sammy. Yeah, let's just call him Sammy. That's funny.
Yeah, where
Oh no.
The Sammies can't see him.
Hey, Sammy.
So then he goes underwater and kind of just chills while Red kind of waits there, and the other agents are just kind of looking around.
Hmm.
And yeah, but Abe goes down there for a while and is kind of looking around. And until Red gets distracted because Miss Shore Carl, the cyborg, or goes, oh yeah, he also has like a robot hand, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Carl's waiting for him, and then Red begins chasing him. Abe is then kind of left to his devices, and then tries grabbing a bunch of eggs, and he fails quite miserably because the little Dionysus thing he had actually gets cut off due to and he loses it because it was tied to his freaking wrist for some reason.
Yeah,
It,
you gotta secure that better, man.
yeah, then he gets attacked by Sammy, where then he has to narrowly escape into like this area he can't get to.
Mm-hmm.
Who, as the Clay, but then it cuts to Clay and
Hellboy.
Hellboy running after him for a while until eventually Hellboy kind of just finds where
Carl just kind of hangs out.
yeah. But then let's cut to another scene where the two other eight where the Sammys start emerging from the under the water up to the surface, and then the two agents see both of them and are ready to flame blast them with a flamethrower, but it doesn't work, and both of them freaking die to both Sammys.
Oof.
Pretty sick. Yeah, this is a
What a
pretty
shame.
brutal scene. Like one guy runs away, try to get to the train tracks, but then the train comes in, so he can't escape. You could just hear the screams of pain as he's being ripped
It's
apart.
pretty bad.
Yeah, pretty brutal.
And then
Then
like Abe is. Wait, hold on. Did we already
Abe,
say?
no wait, no, not there yet. So then, Hellboy eventually comes to the room where Carl was and finds a depiction of Samael. Or then said Sammy, and then a Sammy comes down and attacks him, causing him to bash through like basically fall down into another subway station full of people,
Where it's
causing like your standard monster fight. All right, where it's basically like a punching them up monster fight. He
oh,
picks up like a ringing telephone phone from the wall, says it's for you, and bashes Sammy over the head. And Samuel actually straight up dislocates its arm,
and
and
just swings it.
dislocates its arm to then grab the phone box from Hellboy off his back. Hellboy eventually gets to the point where the fight gets up to like an upper level
Yeah.
where he's about to fight it, but then
There's a box of kittens.
yeah, like it's basically it's like I don't know, a box of kittens just lying there, and a woman wants to get them. So instead of kicking them to the side, Hellboy picks them up and just starts defending them while fighting Samael.
Because
It
of course he
eventually
does. He
sends
loves
Samael through
cats.
like a window, where into a train track, into a subway track area window. Where Sammy is trying to pull him down, but then a train comes in and absolutely wrecks that one Samuel,
Mm-hmm.
leaving the kitten saved and Hellboy alive. But
Yahoo!
then with another dead Samuel, two more appear. Abe manages
Because
to
of
escape
course.
and then lets everybody know with his tracker that he's in trouble. Clay, who was just kind of waiting in the like sewer underground tunnels, is one that is like, oh hey, Red, we have to go save Abe.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
then Carl shows up and then he's like, drop the weapon, and then immediately opens fire on Carl.
mm-hmm.
Or of course, since he doesn't have blood, he just starts bleeding sand.
He just dusts and everything.
And then Clay, I guess, is having a really hard time loading his gun. And eventually, Carl just walks up to him and starts stabbing him like a bunch in the stomach, while Clay is of course shooting him in the stomach as well.
Yeah. So
And then Clay falls to the ground after I'm getting, I guess, like a dozen stab wounds.
and then Carl
In a,
has does something to like the little
oh
wind
yeah,
up thing.
he does a kind of like a pretends plays dead. The thing is, throughout the movie, he has like this on his chest. He has like this little wind up. He's basically a wind up toy. He's got like a little wind up on his thing on his chest that he just kind of winds up to it before combat and such. He does the exact opposite, winds it down, and then just spazzes out on the ground and dies.
Yeah.
Then Hellboy comes in to find Clay stabbed to death and calls in for a medic back from the other two agents, hence who are dead. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally we cut back to the bureau where Abe is like in a back to tank or something.
Because of course it's called a meta tank, but it's a back to tank. Yeah.
I don't even think it's called anything. He's just injured in a tank of water, his natural environments, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the bald director man keeps talking to him like Abe's gonna make it, but those other agents aren't gonna who died because of you. I don't like you. You know, you're a freak, and the
You
whole thing.
suck, Hellboy.
And the whole thing is that after you captured and killed every other freak, there'll still be one left, you. Hellboy then has a pretty standard and calm and collective reaction to this by picking up a random heavy like oxygen tank and tossing it at him.
Based,
It does,
obviously.
before this happens, it cuts to where John has successfully brought Liz back to the place.
Good job.
Everybody's happy to see her. Then we see the bald guy running through the window at the smashed glass wall after Hellboy threw the thing at him.
And she says,
Like,
nothing's changed.
yeah, and he's like, I want the thing locked away right now. And Hellboy's like, John, you did it! You brought this! You did it! Like,
You
where's
did
everybody
it.
going? And then everybody leaves. Like, where's everybody going?
Yeah.
So wait, what
Wait.
is the? Oh yeah, basic. What's the next scene? In
Autopsy.
Oh, I think yeah, you're right. Yeah, the autopsy. Basically, Professor is now investigating the dead body, the so-called dead body of Carl Rupert Cronin, which means this guy was probably dead a long time before he ever turned himself off.
Yeah.
Cause the dude, he's like a creepy looking thing. Because without his armor, he's like covered in scars. As it turns out, Carl Rupert Cronin was born in 1870. 95, which means he's in 2004. He's like a century old at that point.
Yep.
He's a century old at that point. Point.
Yeah.
He suffered from like in his lore thing. He was like a beautiful singer when he was younger, but then after he grew up, he of course lost that ability and kind of developed some severe masochistic tendencies, such as surgical
Addiction.
basically meaning that he tried to, in a weird effed up way, try to fix up every problem in impurity in his body. He's like covered in scars. He literally surgically removed his eyelids and upper and bottom lip.
Which like
Makes him look creepy AF.
why would you try to do that?
He's a creepy He's a
Yeah,
creepy crazy
very,
guy.
very true. And yeah, he has like the little clockwork thing in his
Oh yeah,
chest.
and also his blood, as Professor says, his blood has been dried up for years now, and he's wondering what kind of will would keep a creature like this alive, because he shouldn't be alive. Like Carl's current state defies all biological precedents that he should be dead by now.
Mm-hmm.
Or, but so then he takes a piece of paper out of his pocket and starts investigating it downstairs. Where then Hellboy is talking to Liz. He's like writing a love letter, or currently
And
before.
it's playing a song. Uh,
Yeah, he's talking to John like, John, you're a guy with words. What's a good word for need? Well, need's a good word. Nah, too needy. And Liz walks in and is just like, hey, basically they have a whole conversation and for a minute until eventually she's like, oh, I'm going out. You going out? Yeah, John is taking me out. He's of course Hellboy's kind of jealous. It's like in a pretty comedic way. He's incredibly jealous.
Yes.
And actually, as they're not like on a date, but they're just like chilling,
They're just kind of walking together.
getting coffee. And funny enough, John is actually hyping up Hellboy, trying to tell Liz that he's actually a pretty good guy.
He's a good
Yeah,
good
and
fella.
Hellboy actually broke out to trying to follow them on this like hangout session
On
because
like
he's
the
a bit jealous.
rooftops.
This bit jealous. And well, he jumps across from rooftop to rooftop and such, and eventually he encounters this one kid on one of the rooftops. It's like, I'm on a mission, and just spies on John and Liz.
Mm-hmm. And also she takes
Eventually,
his picture. She took his picture. God
yeah.
damn it.
It's also cutting to a scene where then let's get to another scene where um
The professor.
is investigating like a bunch. Actually, first Hellboy just jealous and throws a rock at John at one point, and John, of course, he
Like
lays
what
a
the
line.
hell?
We like people for their traits, but love them for their imperfections or something like that. Like trying to
Yeah.
again hype up Hellboy a little bit more.
He's a good man.
Yeah, and we cut to the professor who's like investigating more about Rasputin's stuff and is doing whole investigating. And then, but as it turns out, Carl is not dead. He literally just straight up gets up from the table and walks over to put all his stuff back on.
Like all of his stuff's just like on the tip. Now I guess like due to the autopsy,
It
like
makes
I
sense.
suppose that's where they put. But like shoot,
So then he just starts walking down the stairs, and the professor's like,
just like
"Okay,
so casually.
I see the puppet, but where's the puppet master?" And then Rasputin just suddenly appears on one of the chairs in the library. Like, well, Professor, I'd like to thank you for taking care of Hellboy. You see, you know his real name. Would you like to hear it? No, he's my son. I
He's
know
my
what was in there. Well,
he's my boy.
you should have destroyed him years ago, and then you could prevent the end of the world. But how about as a consolate prize, I shall show you what the end of the world looks like. And then he beams into his head like a picture of like your standard fiery destruction and
Very
help
very
with
Doom
tentacles in the
esque.
sky. Yeah,
Very
and it's
Doom
like you should
esque.
have had him
Also Dark
destroyed years
Ages. It's
ago, but
coming.
now since you saved him, he shall he'll live his destiny and destroy the world,
Oh yeah, and we see his horns, and he has a fiery hell crown.
which is pretty cool. And it's like so, Professor, do you want to know Hellboy's true name? I know what his true name is. He is my son. Okay, fine. Well, are you ready to die? Yeah, I'm ready. Don't worry, we'll make it painless. And then Carl just stabs him through the throat, killing him probably instantly.
So I guess painless.
Yeah, kill him quite painlessly.
Kept
And
his
then it
word.
cuts to where Hellboy's showing with a kid again, who
The,
kid's trying to give him advice to, like, you're
there's
9.
yeah, and there's kind of eating cookies and everything.
And then it cuts to where Hellboy and all the others learn of the death of his dad. So they then go to his funeral, like standard movie funeral. There's a lot of rain and
A lot
everybody
of rain.
has everybody has white umbrellas, no black umbrellas. It's your standard funeral scene. And now Hellboy has his dad's little chain, like
Catholic.
Catholic
I
shirt
don't
cross thing. I don't know what I don't know what.
I don't know the name.
Yeah,
I should probably look into that. I should probably look into a couple of religious
I
items
don't
and
know.
everything.
It's something.
I don't know.
So yeah, it cuts to afterwards. Red is depressed and such, and basically the bald guy is now the director because everybody else capable is dead.
Yeah,
Dead. Everybody else is capable is dead.
just kind of got
Clay
it
didn't
right.
survive his attacks, and now the professor is dead, so it's kind of left up to him. So he's like, okay, we figured out from the clues the professor found that what we have to find is outside Moscow, Russia. We have to find uh, excuse me.
It's all good. It's
We
all
have to
good,
find
man.
Rasputin's mausoleum if we want to catch these guys and such. So Liz is also talking to Abe. It's like, should I go with him? He's not doing so hot
Yeah.
after his dad died.
And Abe is playing with a Rubik's cube in the back to tank. I don't know. That's just funny.
Yeah, as it turns out, he's like, hey, you should go with him. And when it comes down to us freaks only have each other. I'm not a good problem solver. And you want to say the quote
Ah, well, after all, I've only solved 2 sides.
of this Rubik's cube after like 10 years?
Pretty good.
Which means, man, Abe, you must suck at this, or you are not using your powers so much. You could use your powers to figure out how to open the Rubik's cube just easily.
Come on, man. You can get it.
Yeah, why aren't you doing this? But anyways, so they then begin their flight to. So then Liz then confesses that she talks to Red. Red with Hellboy. Hellboy's like, hey, look, Liz, I know you like John because he makes you feel normal and such, and I wish I could change how I look or what I am, but I can't. I want to let you just know I will always love you and I will always look this good.
He's not.
He's for real. He's me for
not
real.
much, but he's well.
He's
God.
me for. He's like just like me for real. Oh,
You're not. You're not. You're not the devil's son.
good point.
Your dad's nice.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good guy. You're
I
right.
know, I can tell.
What? No, I gotta keep this channel to make it seem like I had a pretty she dad to get clout. God, Will, you had to ruin everything. And now I can't get the sympathy points or attention. Goodness gracious.
Now look here. I know some folks who have the. I know some folks who allegedly have some pretty good parents, and I don't know. It works. Okay. Forget it.
Moving on.
Back to the movie.
They then begin their flight to Russia, but they're like, okay, how do we stop Sammy,
Sands.
the Sammys? Because we have to destroy the eggs and the Samuels at the same time. Well, we have these like belt grenade things. It's like a straight up weird device where it's like a belt of high powered grenades.
Pretty good.
It's attached to each other with a timer.
mean-
what you do is you literally just put a timer,
You just
like
wind it
an
up.
oven timer thing on it, and just toss it at the enemy. Then it
Pretty
pulls
good.
all the cords simultaneously. Kaboom!
Pretty good. Gets
So
the-
they begin
gets the
their
job done.
transport to Russia and find like this large graveyard where they're like, okay, how do we find Rasputin's mausoleum? It's
Well,
well, and then the bald guy's like, we should throw up a grid, and then Hellboy's like, I'm gonna go ask for directions.
so he goes to an open grave.
No, it was like a random grave. He opened himself.
Yeah. So he goes, opens up a grave, opens up the coffin, and then speaks like I think Latin.
He does like a magic spell.
Yeah, with like to like a corpse, and the corpse like gets him. He's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, he basically brings back this like hung Russian dude who's got like half of his who's like basically a torso and looks like a White Walker, as you said. Will.
He does look like a White Walker. Oh my God.
So basically, he then starts walking like, hello, comrades. This guy is Ivan. He says that he can take us the right way. What's the right way, Ivan? And that's way, red monkey. He doesn't actually speak English, but he just
Hello, comrades.
Yeah, that's actually what Hellboy says.
I forgot about that. Unfortunately,
So then they make their way into like this underground tunnel system. We're like, okay, hey, as long as we stay together, we'll be fine. And then immediately after he says it, for like some kind of comedic timing, a bunch of like spiky walls erupt, separating them all into groups.
Because of
It
course.
includes 3 groups of 6 people. Why did they only say 6 people on this mission?
I don't know.
Yeah,
They were the only ones left.
I don't
Half
know.
of the organization
I
died.
feel like there's more soldiers you can
There
employ.
are more. I don't know.
It's weird, but I'm not going to bring this up. Basically, Liz and John in one group with one unnamed soldier,
And
and
then
the bald director guy and Hellboy with one unnamed soldier, and Ivan. So they
the
begin their
corpse man,
movement where Hellboy and the
bald
director,
man,
the bald man, and Ivan, along with the unnamed soldier, start walking their way, and eventually they come to like this large, I don't know, open area that I don't know how anybody built or why it's been abandoned, but it's weird.
it's very Tomb Raider esque.
Yeah, very Tomb Raider esque. But then the door behind them closes, and then the director guy's like, then a bunch of machinery starts activating, or just like, oh yeah, he also hands off Ivan to like the nameless guy. Like, could you hold this guy? He's being super negative after he says, "If I had legs, I'd kick your ass."
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. So then as the door closes, the director guy's like, we should stay put and go back. This is not, I am in charge. No, we can't go back because this will be coming after us. I don't care what you say. Hey, we go back, and then a giant hammer just comes and kills the Ivan guy and the rat and the nameless soldier.
and
R.I.P.
and Ivan's second dying words. I say second because he died before. I was better off dead.
So yeah, then as the hammer comes back, the door on the other side of the bridge, kind of that they're on, starts closing.
Mm-hmm.
So then he just chucks the director dude sliding under it.
I love
And
the
this is a
wires
pretty inconsistent, another weird inconsistency where the door is closing a lot faster or a lot slower, and in the how close it is to closing is inconsistent. But
Yeah.
Hellboy runs away from the hammer and manages to narrowly make it under the door while pulling his.
Because of course
He also rips off Indiana Jones and pulls his tail right under the door as it's closing.
pretty good.
And as they're continuously walking through, they then hear music. It's like music, and they come to like a spiky hallway where then they see
Carl.
yeah, they see Carl, aka Swordman, just chilling there listening to like a music machine. Where then
It's called a
the
gramophone.
gramophone. But then
I see. You wouldn't know what it is because you are a young man.
you're not much younger than me.
Yeah, I just know about.
But then
I just know about because I've known a lot of old people.
But then the director just stupidly kind of pricks his finger on the door somehow, saying "ow," and somehow Ivan heard it.
Of course,
No, not Ivan. It's
Carl.
Carl. But then Hellboy's like, then he just straight up disappears from where he was sitting and suddenly attacks Hellboy.
Hmm.
Where then Hellboy, of course, kicks his ass pretty easily, like, you killed my father, your ass is mine, and bashes in his helmet, sending him flying into a wall. Where then he starts giggling, like, I think he's laughing, but because it sounds like like because it's through the gas mask.
And he's like, "What's so funny, you Nazi son of a?" And then a trap door opens.
Like into a pit of spikes, but then luckily there was a rope that Hellboy could hold on to.
Because of course there is.
But then Carl tries to start styling before he's about to cut the rope into the spike.
Stop styling, you'll win every time.
But then the director guy starts tossing gears at him, like a bunch of gears. Like there's a bunch of like comedically large gears in the wall, machinery gears in the walls. Where then Hellboy, after managing to pull up a piece of rope, wraps it around Carl's neck, pulling him down to the ground. Then he gets up from out of the spike pit and then tosses Carl in where he's impaled on a bunch of spikes.
Where all the sand's coming out.
And then finally, to finish him off, like, recover from this bitch, tosses a giant gear on him, crushing him.
And that's Carl.
Yeah, that's the end of Carl Rupert Cronin.
The 100-and-something-year-old man.
Yes, who probably should have been dead a long time ago.
Well,
he's dead.
A long time ago.
So then he goes to go find the rest of them, where we cut to Liz, John, and unnamed soldier number 2 as they're walking through the underground. Also, Hellboy can kind of hear them as he's above them, where he's just like Liz, do you think Hellboy thinks that he's mad at me because he thinks I like you or something like that? Like, oh, that's why he's mad at me. He's jealous. And then he asks like, Liz, do you like me? And she's like, red or white, you guys are all the same.
Based.
Yeah. So then eventually, as they're walking, they come to like this big watery, like fallen statue, waterlogged area, and find like the rest of the Sammys, all of the remaining Sammys, where they're
and
like,
all the eggs.
They're like, oh shit, we're screwed. Marco, come over here and save us. So Hellboy's then crushing down. As it turns out, Hellboy's above them actually.
Yes.
He starts bashing like the floor in to get to them through the roof. As the unnamed soldier with a grenade belt starts kind of like,
Winding up the
which
grenades.
he should have been a lot faster with, because as he's doing it, he then gets killed by two of the Samaels.
Pretty
And as
good.
one tries killing
John.
John and Liz, that one gets crushed by Hellboy crashing into the ceiling like the Kool-Aid Man.
And he's red. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just kind of fighting the Sammys.
But the thing is, the more he keeps killing them, the more they keep respawning in. So
Because of course.
yeah, so then Liz comes to the conclusion, to stop them, they have to
Do
kill
the-
all of them at once. So then she's like, "Hit me,
Hit me,
John."
Majors.
So then
Myers.
he then smacks her. Where then she's like, "You should run," and then she enters Super Saiyan mode and explodes.
Very Super Saiyan mode. Oh my god.
And then causes a big fire explosion, killing all the Samaels and the eggs.
And the eggs. So I guess
Killing-
we're having them sunny side up.
We could say now for certain that Samael is dead,
Oh,
permanently dead. We could say that. We
He
could say
was
that.
such a good practical man.
Yeah. But then I guess everybody passes out from the explosion, where we find John, who wakes up to find that Rasputin and the blonde chick have captured them, and they have locked like Hellboy in like this
Yay stocks.
like the stocks basically with chain stocks. They have
And woods for
they-
the
for some-
giant arm.
either A, they took off Liz's clothes, or B, I think this is the most possible one. All of Liz's clothes burned off when she did the whole explosion thing, which would make sense. She's like kind of naked under a blanket, and then they have John like chained up after they smashed the timer of the explosive of the grenade belt.
The Nazis, the Nazi ladies just kind of hitting it with a hammer.
But then
I don't know.
Well, then basically, then Rasputin gets into a whole thing. Like I saw, and then he took a witness upon an angel and saw in its right hand a key. A key. Hellboy, I need you to open the portal. No. Well, fine. Do it for your You can make an Eden for your girlfriend. No. Well, fine then. I'll absorb her soul. So then he kind of like absorbs her.
It appears you have a choice, Mr. Powers.
Yeah,
Save the world or
save your girlfriend. So yeah, Hellboy is then confronted with the fact. Oh my God, this has been an hour and 30 minutes of a thing. That's a good sign. That's a good sign then. I don't have to go to work, so this is no big deal.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man.
So then Hellboy's like, no, give her back. He's like, okay, your soul's on the other side of the Aju Dahar. If you open the portal, she could come back with them, and you could fulfill your destiny. He's like, okay, for her. But then he's like, okay, to break out of those chains, you can't break out of them unless you utter your true name, which his name is Og Un Rama, which you could, funny enough, is the title of this episode if you've listened thus long.
Yeah, that's
right. It's Amun Un Rama, which is his real name, not Hellboy.
Rama, you mean the
after he speaks his name, the chains he's in breaks apart, and then
because of course
rises where his horns and his fire crown suddenly appear.
Because of course.
And then the thing is, Hellboy is supposed to be the key to release the Aju Dahar, because they sent like a giant marble pillar that he has to his right hand is literally a key that fits into a slot that he just kind of turns, opening a portal of the full moon, of like the blood moon.
Like it just starts bleeding like it's bloodborne.
Yeah, so then he opens the portal, releasing the Aju Dahar from their crystal prison. Which then they are about to come through the portal, and Rasputin's like, okay, the first part of the process is over. Now use the second hole. But eventually John manages, as this is going on, escapes from his restraints and grabs like the little rose. It's a rosary. That's what it's called.
Rosary. Thank you.
The rosary that belonged to Hellboy's father, the professor. He knocks out the blonde chick and then manages to throw it like, Hellboy, remember who you are, and tosses at him where the symbol of the cross gets burned into his hand.
Because of course he's the devil's son.
Right at this point, right now. So then he's like, you still have a choice. That's what your father gave you. It's like, no, you do not have a choice. I say it's okay to destroy this world. This world's so shitty. I believe it's okay to destroy it. And it's like, and then Hellboy gains an epiphany and decides, you know what? No. And destroys his two horns, causing the portal to be to be closed in him to lose his power.
It was some kind of catalyst.
So
I don't
then,
know.
Rasputin's like, no, you have no idea what you've done. And then he's like, yeah, I've chosen, and stabs Rasputin with his horns. Pretty rad.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a major thing with this story is choice, where Hellboy, the Hellboy comics in general, he was meant to be the destroyer, the one who brings the end of the world, but he always chooses to make his own choices and not be that, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I don't really like it. So then Rasputin's like, oh, you've killed me, an important man, but you released the god. Because the thing is, Rasputin didn't come back alone from the other side. The thing is, he actually has had he's had another man inside of him, which I'm joking. His master. He's had his master inside of him, which is like this weird
guys
giant.
Don't know the face that I just had.
Yeah, it's like a giant tentacle monster that's been secretly inside of him. It then pulls an aliens and bursts out of his stomach. I'm guessing
because of course.
And then is like, oh, I'm dead. And then Rasputin's like, oh, I'm dead. And then Hellboy leaves with Liz and
John
on, and they get out of there. And he's just like, as the creature's growing, and they also grab the broken grenade bow, and he's just like, okay, John, you protect Liz. What, Hellboy, are you sure? You don't know how dangerous and big that thing is. How big can it be? And as it turns out, it's freaking massive.
Yeah.
So then it tosses Hellboy around, where he grabs a giant stone sword and starts cutting it apart like into sushi.
Yeah.
Until eventually it grabs him by the legs, why he grabs the grenade belt and starts flinging him around. And then Hellboy, then realizing the proper way of defeating this thing, he then pulls all the grenade pins, where then the creature eats him. And it's one of the classic stories of you probably should be careful of who you eat, and then the creature explodes.
Because yeah.
As Hellboy flies out of it and just like, ugh.
He probably smells horrible.
And wait, what's the thing he says? Will, I want you to say it.
Wait.
That's gonna be in the morning.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sore.
Sore in the morning. So then he walks back to find Liz, and it's like, I did it. And then he takes Liz, and it's like, she's not breathing. Her soul is, she has no pulse. And he's like, so Hellboy then whispers that into her ear, where then she wakes up like, Hellboy, you smell so terrible. Well, from all those guts that I have been brought back to life. No,
that's what I wish she said. He brought her back with the power of anime.
Actually, what he did is he basically whispered into her ear like, hey, you on the other side, give her back, or else you're gonna be real sorry. Where then I guess I'm guessing he just straight up like intimidated like some kind of ancient evil to giving back his girlfriend or his soul, or he'd come back and deal with them himself.
He's the Doom guy, let me tell you.
So then Liz is back, and then all things are good. Then they have a makeout sesh as she then catches on fire,
and John's watching.
And John's watching, like, and then the final John has monologue like, a friend of mine asked what makes a man, and I figured it out. What makes a man is his choices, not where he starts, but how he ends things and the choices he makes along the way.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Roll credits.
And that's where the movie ends.
Well, there's a post-credit scene, but it isn't really much. It's just the bald guy.
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, where are you? And then we hear Samael in the distance. This doesn't ever pay off, and I'm guessing they're all actually dead. There's just a little fun joke, I guess, at the end.
Yeah.
So then, that's Hellboy 2004. It was a really good movie.
Very good. Like that was actually on my list for like a minute.
And I'm really glad you got to see it, William. I'm glad I got to share it with you.
Thank you for bringing it. I'm handshaking him backwards.
There we go, handshake. But yeah, thank you very much, William. I feel like this is a pretty good episode.
Oh yeah. An hour and something minutes.
Yeah, an hour and almost 40 minutes.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, this is the longest episode, and thank you very much for all listening. This is HD ADHD. We would suggest you check out our other episodes.
Oh yeah.
And we'll try to release one episode weekly if we can.
We'll at least try. You know how it is scheduling sometimes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yeah.